last session. So other than that, what about productivity and success?
All right. Thank you, Billy. Thank you all for having us. I always look forward to this opportunity. A lot of times in suburban and urban seats, we don't get a lot of opportunity to interact with our constituents a whole lot. We can go to Walmart and not be interrupted. When we talk to our rural colleagues, they go to Walmart and they can't get out for the next 30 minutes or an hour. A lot of times I can walk down my neighborhood street and I'm the President Pro Tem of the Senate and no one knows that I'm that. There's some freedom in that, but there's also like, oh man, I want somebody to ask me about something. So I look forward to these. This session was my first session as the President Pro Tem. And I had been the majority floor leader prior to that, got elected to that position, started that in January. So this is a brand new leadership position for me, the leader of the Senate. I'm excited to undertake it. We have a tremendous group of senators that I'm very honored to serve with. This session, I would give it an A+. I felt like it was the best I've been involved in. I've been in office since 2011. We've had some tumultuous years. There's no reason to bury our head in the sand and not talk about it. It's been rough. The budget's been rough. We made some really tough choices over the last 3 sessions to put us in a position to be able to invest big time in education, in teacher salaries, in the classroom, and that was a huge success. We were able to do some reform. We were able to pass LOFT, which is the Legislative Office of Fiscal Transparency, something the Speaker of the House, myself, worked on together. Representative Eccles was very instrumental in it. It gives us a new era of being able to hold agencies accountable. Heretofore, agencies come and tell us what their budget is, what their budget needs are, and we really don't have a whole lot of recourse to be able to verify those numbers, to be able to look at programs and see which ones are effective. The agencies are able to tell us what they think is effective, and lobbyists are able to tell us what they think is effective, but we haven't had any independent legislative office to look at it. So I'm extremely proud that we passed Senate Bill 1 to the governor's desk this year that gives us a new era of fiscal responsibility, transparency. The public will see all the reports that this entity creates, and it's a bipartisan, bicameral entity. In fact, yesterday was the first meeting. I was honored to be able to attend yesterday, and several of my colleagues up here on the platform were there as well. You're going to see great things out of that. I think we should have high expectations on that. Everyone always tells politicians, be careful about setting the expectations too high. I say just the opposite. Let's have much higher expectations. Let's have much higher expectations on ourselves to be able to show the public that we are good stewards with their taxpayer dollars. LOFT will be a game changer. I think that if you look at the budget this year, it was the first one I've been involved in where we weren't looking at where do we cut and how do we protect core entities. We were able to look at investments for the first time since I've been there. And we prioritized public education, both teacher salaries and into the classroom. We prioritized transportation. But I tell you, we did all that, and we put back an additional $200 million to have a total savings of $1 billion that puts us in a very good position facing the future. You hope that the economy continues to go well, but you also look across the nation. You look at natural gas prices and oil prices that we're still too dependent on. We've done a pretty good job of diversifying, but natural gas prices have been depressed for quite a while. Rig count is not going up, it's going down. Our GPT collections are up, but we've got to look toward the future and make sure that we save money back because there will be another rainy day. We're not naive to that fact. So it's been awesome working with Governor Stitt. He is very actively engaged in the legislative process, more so than since I've been around. He's in my office daily during session, actively engaged in the process, very much pushing for the $200 million in savings to be restrained in our fiscal house. And I'm just excited. I think this session, by far, was the most successful I've ever been a part of. But we've got to do even better next year, and I look forward to next session to work with my colleagues up here to continue to move the state forward.
Thank you, Senator.